Okay, so we're back for video 2. We're looking at the same score of Prepare the Way. We're looking further into the tune to some funky rhythms and things like that. I've taken out some of the notation so that we're just looking at the parts that I want to look at right now. If you want a copy of this, just hit me up. You can find me on the internet at the Catoctin School of Music, and I'll get you a copy. So, first things first, let's look at sections. We're going to take this pickup here, which is kind of cool and funky, going into letter H. So this is verse 2. Okay, and then we're going to go on and read just to letter I. So small parts is what we were talking about in the last video. So this starts on beat 3. You need to be able to see forwards into this, and you need to be able to count backwards. So this is the anda of beat 4. The dot is representing beat 4, okay? And then the quarter note is representing beat 3. So it's 3, 4, and a 1, okay? Here is beat 3. Here is the and of 4. So basically this note right here is the same thing as this. Or if we look at this last half of the measure right here, is the same thing as this last half. You need to be able to recognize patterns, okay? And then something totally different in the second measure of the verse here. We have 1, 2, 3 tied to 4 and an and. Measure 37, we have 1, 2, here's a 3, and here's the and. This is very similar. Matter of fact, this is the exact same thing as this measure right here. Okay. And then we have this final measure of the verse that is doing this rhythm. 1, 2, tied to 3 and 4 and. So I'm going to pick it up right here at the pickup at beat 3. We're just going to work on counting right now. So I'm going to count to 2 and then we come in. 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 3, and 1, 3, and 1, 3, and 1, and 4, and 1. We talked about in the last video. If you can't keep time, basically, with this hand, I'll slap the bass, put a little tone on so we can hear it. So I'm going to count the same spot. I won't be able to do the follow along here, okay? But with the mouse, that is, okay? But I'm going to start right here, counting to 1, 2, and then we're going to come in. So my hand, this hand is going to be the beat, the quarter note, and this hand is going to be the bass part. 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and letter I, okay? You need to work out these mathematical things in your mind. You need to be working on them, because if you can't do what I just did, it's going to be a struggle to play more advanced material or to memorize tunes, okay? Now, in the last video, we talked about finding the lowest note and the highest note. So, got to get up to a high D right here. And we have to get down to a low D, which happens there and also happens right here on the pitch right here, okay? That also happens here at the beginning. So our range is D to a D and an octave. And most of our notes are just this D, this G, and this A, and this D. So, might want to put us up at 5th fret, and got a D, and a G, and an A, and a D. So D, 5th fret on the A string, and then a G on the D string, and an A, so it's 5th fret, 7th fret, and then 7th fret on the high string. Now, the bass duplicates every 5 frets, so I could play 5th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 7th fret, and excuse me, I'm not warmed up, so 10th fret, 10th fret, 12th fret, 12th fret. So I just added 5 plus 5 is 10. And then the notes that were at 7th fret is duplicated up at 12th fret. Next, I'm going to say the letters in time. Okay. Next, I am going to clap out everything just with one hand. It's the same thing that we just did, the rhythm. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Okay? If you can't do this yet, it's something you need to work on. If you cannot, so I'll also do it this way. Here's another great recommendation. If you can clap, so you do not need a bass at this point in time. It's really just reading the material and getting stronger at reading. So you'll become a better player faster. Okay? So two beats before H. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Okay? If you can touch and feel what touch is and groove, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2. And really be able to feel what groove is, touching your bass or touching the piano, another instrument, the tubas I talked about, easy peasy. Once you've got rhythm, good rhythm, it goes through all of the instruments. Once you've got bad rhythm, good luck, okay? It's something you need to fix because it's going to be a struggle the rest of your life on all of the instruments. So now, I'm going to walk through the notes, not in time. So the first note's a G, G, A, D. So I'm coming with a pattern. D, do I see everything? D to an A is down a fourth, a whole step to a G. Last note on that line is A. Now I'm at measure 37, got a D, a high D, down to the A, and the G, and then I'm going to do an open D, D, G, F sharp, into an E. And then I'm thinking right there, I should have probably D, G, I should have switched fingers to a pinky on that. So I'm already planning my attack. Or do I want to go D, G, F sharp, E? Got different with the open D string, which I am playing right there on the and of 3. So I'm making that note an open note, and I got all these options. Or D, G, F sharp, E. Okay. G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E. You can play it that way. So all these different things that we want to do. So here we are. Now this time I'm going to go ahead and play letter H in time, but I'm going to go slow. I'm going to count myself in, which I recommend. So here's one measure. I'm going to count one measure, 4 beats plus 2 beats, and then I'm going to come in. And I'm going to go a slow speed. So pick some word that's got 2 syllables or 3. My hometown's Leesburg, so Leesburg, Leesburg, Lees. Just a reminder to go about 60 beats per second, or slower if you need to sight read this excellent the first try, like it's a take for a recording session, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 beats. G, 2, and a D for 2, D for 2, and G, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, D, 2, and G, 2, 3, and down the scale. Okay? So that's how I would approach that. Then, instead of going fast, can you play that multiple times in a row? I'll be truthful. Sometimes I'm playing a session here at my house. I'm making up a song for somebody on the guitar, the bass, or the piano, and they're not paying me a whole lot of money. So if I can play it right in one take, I make more money. What if I could play it right in one take and it's slower? Well, through a DAW, I can actually speed the take up faster. Okay, and I don't care. It's not like I'm making something that's going to be on the radio, most likely. So can I play something that is accurate with musicality sooner than later? So I taught myself that trick. It's a really good habit. Then when I go out to play live, I've got a lot of licks that are under my fingers. Finger memory, we call it. It's really your brain just remembering a pattern, and then without thinking, it just flows right out of my brain to my fingers, and everybody's like, wow, you play amazing. And I'm like, well, it's actually that work I did last year and 2 years ago and 3 years ago, and being successful with my practice and my warm-ups. So here we go. Take it at the same speed right before letter H. Going to count to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, You saw that time I jumped up to a different spot on the fretboard. You could take this to memory. You could try so many different things. Go to this high D. They don't have the slide there in measure 37 down to measure 37 from 36, but you could. Okay, here comes a C sharp coming up. So different ideas for you. Play slow for 2 or 3 days. Lock the good skill, lock the good sound in your head in these little bitty parts, these germs of the song, okay? And learn them and put it all together. Let's continue on. So letter I, the pre-chorus now.